welcome to Red, White, and Buffalo, the best Buffalo podcast out there. I'm Adam. This is my co-host Zilla. Another great dub yesterday.
Great.
Another huge win against one of the top teams in the league. Very fun to watch. So Zilla's going to introduce what we're talking about today.
Yep, I think we're going to go ahead and kick it off with the usual. So we're going to start with defense this week. We'll roll right into the offense, kind of like a overview of the game, what we thought, what we saw.
Mm-hmm.
Then maybe a little bit of fun stuff that some things we're going to bring up, maybe some exciting points that we'd have liked to yell out during the game.
And, like maybe somebody just jumping over somebody,
yeah,
just for fun,
Yeah. Or someone shutting a game down with an interception.
Maybe.
Yeah. And then we'll just get into the predictions, of course, for the next week. So yeah, let's just kick it off.
Yeah. Let's start with the defense. Obviously, huge. We all thought this could have been like another offensive game. The last few games, even when we beat them last season, was turned into an offensive game. It was like a 38-18 or something like that finish. So we have to give huge props to our defense. Just they bent a lot, but they didn't break, so that was huge.
Still strapped a little. Like not everybody's back. Looking great. I think before we dive too deep into our defense, I did want to say I was kind of surprised with Kansas City's defense as well.
Yeah.
Like that kind of came out of nowhere because I'd seen a couple of the games this season and they weren't getting blown out, but they kind of did their normal like just keep it within reason, And
I was surprised that they held us for the majority of 3 quarters, and then we kind of we only scored 24 points. I mean, we didn't even really blow them out. So it was very interesting game, honestly, to say the least. Like I know there were some red zone opportunities, obviously. Another defensive interception in the red zone, stuff like that. Like the first drive of the game with Josh and the fumble, stuff like that could have been scores. But
I guess you could say it was almost a perfect game, right? Because you had I don't want to say evenly matched defense, but both teams were doing well enough with defense. Both teams were scoring.
Pretty good offensive games too. Like it's not like they got shut out.
Yeah,
it was a very balanced game for both teams. It was like one of those games where like both teams played really well, and obviously one team just had to come out on top, and it was luckily us this time.
Yeah, but those 20 that you want to keep it in that 20s. That's a fun game to watch, and
that is a fun game to watch for sure. When when you have a game in the 20s, it's like it's like one of those games that was a battle most times.
Yeah,
that's a good couple touchdowns each side.
Yep.
That was a good game, but to go over the defense, I did want to go over some totals just to give an overview of the defense.
Yeah, if you missed the best game of the year, you're about to hear about it.
Yes, you are. I just want to give a quick overview. We're defense is fourth in the league right now with 19 sacks. Second in the league with 13 turnovers. Huge. Obviously, turnovers are game changing.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're almost leading the league in that, difference maker. First in points allowed. One of the best, if not the best, defenses, obviously proven by stats too. Absolutely killing it. But that leads into the biggest difference maker of all, Vaughn.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
I know we all talked, and I know we all said stuff, and I know people were like, "Oh, that's huge signing," but man, is that a huge signing?
Yeah. Week after week, I think he is the difference maker at a lot of places, and I can see the significance now. He's just like the added little piece that I don't want to say little piece, but an added significant piece that we probably needed on defense. You know what I mean? All around.
Well, the thing is that we could have just taken a good we could have had the perfect piece, but that was like the beyond perfect. That was we just decided to go beyond what we needed essentially because. We didn't necessarily need the rush last year. We were not that bad in rush last year. I mean, the crazy thing is that I found out that Von Miller has 6 sacks this year. And that's one below Addison, who led our team in sacks last year. Yeah. Mario Addison, who's not on the team this year, but
just got 2 this game too. This game.
I know.
Yeah.
And multiple pressures, which people don't understand. Like in a game when you have pressure even. It's just like that's a thing that doesn't show up on the stat sheet as often, but it is ginormous. And it was huge. And obviously it showed this whole game.
Yep. I feel like every time he was in there, he just caused disruption. You know, and it was great. It was great because
you could tell he was a difference maker.
And Mahomes is like, so just from seeing Mahomes and like for these years, I'll say my interpretation of him is that he gets bothered still. He does get, but he's not one of those quarterbacks who are just like level-headed, like always cool. He gets irritated, he gets annoyed, and then he also tries to get like make moves. And I feel like
force things.
Yeah, force things. But what the thing he has in his favor, I think, is the whole like that he can scan like 4 times in a play, you know, and find someone open last night. He did a lot of that still. But I think the fact that we kept disrupting like their flow, like you could see it, you know, you could see it on his face sometimes. I think that's big. That's big.
One thing that surprised me is how much what has hurt us in past KC games is they've killed us on the rush game.
Yeah.
And we were able to shut down their rush pretty heavily this game.
Yeah.
To almost non-existent. And that was ginormous. It forced them to pass a lot. And that plays right down our lane.
Yep.
We are if you're going to try to pass against us, you will not win a game. You will not win that game.
Yeah.
It's facts. It's just how it is. We have a dominant pass defense.
But we're almost so good against the rush now. Like you kind of have to pass after a while, you know? So like,
well, that's what's making us like that even defense now by having that good defensive line, you know?
Every team don't you feel like every team that we show up on defense against the run, it makes me even that more confident, like that much more, because we had like we had Derrick Henry, you know what I mean? Like we kind of contained him, Najee Harris. We contain that weird CEH type back where he's like scrambly, kind of like short passes, all kinds of stuff.
And he's beaten us before.
Yeah, he has. He's run all over us actually
last couple seasons.
Yeah. So yeah, I think it's great, and I think it shows that we're dynamic enough to handle all kinds of running backs now.
Yeah. And just different kinds of offenses and stuff too.
Mm-hmm.
It makes me feel like our defense is honestly truly good enough to beat any kind of offense. And when you have that kind of defense, and we don't even have our actual starters in right now, which is even crazier that we're still playing this great with kind of young guys in, which shows our depth too, which is huge. But what was crazy is that I heard about a play where they had like 3 DNs in at the end. That was like the end game at the end of the game where they had 3 DNs in and 1 defensive tackle instead of 2 defensive tackles. And the 1 DN like dropped back like he was gonna play like a QB spy, and essentially like made that lineman like kind of like freeze up because he was supposed to block him.
Yeah.
And basically what happened is like Von Miller was able to like go inside the guy that was guarding him because that guy froze up, and that's what caused like the QB pressure, and then that's what caused the interception at the end.
Which is great. Play call.
Crazy, like those kinds of plays. Like that's a crazy play call at the end of the game to get something like that.
I don't think we talk about our defensive coordinator that much either, and we probably should because maniac.
No, we want to keep him.
I know.
Jeez, I don't want to lose Leslie. That will be horrible.
But we
every year that he keeps getting passed up on, I'm secretly like, thank you.
We credit the team every week and we don't mention him, so I think mention him at least. Yeah, that's great.
Jeez, like Leslie Frazier, an absolute stud.
And stuff like that. I mean, little things like that like disrupt. It changes the whole play. You know. Opening things up
for sure. Like honestly, it's a game plan. That's a game plan kind of thing that you just call it then, and then all of a sudden no one realizes it, and that was game changing. That clinched the game in a spot that they could have maybe drove down and scored maybe or something, you know. So it was nice to see. Definitely nice to see.
So I guess do we want to just talk about the Taron Johnson clutch?
Talk about the couple of interceptions that were huge.
I said in the notes,
turnover city.
I said the notes usually Poyer who gets that game-winning interception, but the game closing.
It wasn't even it was Elam that got the game sealing.
Oh yeah,
Taron got the one. Got the first one. Got the one in the end zone, right?
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Yeah. It was crazy, but both of them were great, like game-changing events.
Yes.
Which goes to show you, like, people don't realize how big, like, obviously people realize turnovers, but like turnovers in certain situations too. Like the first one for Teron Johnson, that was game changing because it changed a moment that they could have been scoring.
Mm-hmm.
The second one was the end of the game that fully closed it out, gave no chance. Like obviously with previous history.
Yeah.
Like so. It's crazy. Like obviously Johnson, it goes to show you too, like all these guys are stepping up.
Mm-hmm.
Johnson, Elam too, like what's crazy is like he lost his starting position. He was supposed to be, he was our first round pick, came in, supposed to be great. And then he coming out of camp, he loses his spot to Betford, who was the 6th round pick we had. And obviously Duke Johnson was starter. And Duke Johnson gets hurt. Betford went out and now Elam's been playing because of that. And now I think they're just like rotating them all in and out, which is great because that will just keep them all healthy and.
Well, they're fresh too for plays. Yeah.
Later in the game, look what happened.
Yeah.
And that's great. He's young. He's the first young rookie. Already got back-to-back games. Huge game to get a game-sealing interception.
Mm-hmm.
It just goes to show you like how big our depth is, on the line, and our cornerbacks. We get injured and we still play just as good, if not better, and it's great.
It's unbelievable. It's great. Yeah, I think we talked about it every game in the podcast, the depth, and I think it's just proving it over and over, and it's crazy because some teams don't even have this much with all their starters in the entire game. You know what I mean?
Seriously.
They don't have that much talent going on, so it's pretty amazing.
No, and we have it around the board and like on every spot. Like even like Rousseau, I think he's already up to 4 sacks, which he had all last year.
Yeah.
So like he's already up there like in the first 6 games of the season. So
they're already having like
Jordan Phillips.
career seasons
look,
for themselves.
All these guys like Phillips is killing it. Every time I watch him on defense, he's crushing through the line, pushing back a guy. He's just a force, dude.
I even said yesterday, I'm like, Phillips is in, something good is going to happen, and it did. And I think it was one of them where he got sacked. Just him being in there. So
you need to get a Phillips jersey.
I know, that'd be great.
You have to.
I know.
That'll be so great.
I'm trying to think how many years he has. I don't want to get either way. He's still great on our team.
Just have it, it's just for fun.
Yeah.
Either way, you could have it even just for yourself. That'd be fun.
Yeah, that's good.
But yeah, no, it just goes to show you our depth, our late game, still stepping up, making big plays in big situations, in big time games. It's huge. This team looks great, and I'm excited to see what's to come of it. But
yeah, it's been fun. Fun.
That leads us into the offense, though. I definitely want to talk. Obviously, offense still had a phenomenal game, even though we only put up 24 points. I think obviously there were some miscues. Opened the game with the fumble, stuff like that. But there was just a lot of times where all of a sudden you were just like the Diggs and Joshy connection, just like it's just like that's why they are who they are. It's just their connection is one of a kind.
Yep.
When we need it, it happens. They always find a way to get a big first down on a 3rd and 13, or get a big late 4th down completion or something, something big. Like always with Josh and Diggs. It's just, I love it. It's just great.
And those throws are crazy. Some of them, like you see some of those and you're like, I don't even know how Diggs is moving into a small pocket target area where he has like a second to get it just right, and it's in there and he grabs it. And it all happens. It's crazy.
Yeah, the throws are incredible. Like sometimes there's no way that like maybe 2 other quarterbacks in the league can complete some of these throws.
Yeah,
and it's just insane. And not just that, like sometimes I was like yesterday, I was like, damn, Diggs really does stick in there sometimes.
Oh, he'll go way off route just to help Josh.
He'll stick in there last minute to like take a hit not even take a hit, but like last second to almost take a hit and then like catch it and go down real quick. It's just like, it's pretty crazy like how he'll like I feel like most players just don't have that awareness,
Yeah. Or I was thinking like when Josh is scrambling and then Diggs is just still running around, find a way to get open enough. You know? Yeah.
I mean, that happens a lot.
Yeah.
They have to practice that with a quarterback that's going to be running around a lot like that. So
yeah. Yep.
But that was just great. Obviously, he's what was that? I want to see the stats. I think it was 10 for
Oh yeah, roll the offensive stats, I guess.
I wanted to see Diggs because I think it was another 10. He's like second in the league again in stats.
Yeah.
Or in receiving yards.
Yeah.
Let me see here. Yeah, let's see. Diggs, second in the league to Tyreek right now. Still, that's pretty freaking good. Second in the league, third in the league in receptions, second in the league in yards, second in touchdowns. Just absolutely killing it.
Yeah.
Let's see. Last game he had. Where is it? Oh yeah, 10 for 148 and a touchdown. Dude, their connection is this season. It's 12 for 148, 7 for 74, 4 for 62, 8 for 102, 10 for 148.
That's wild.
And 6 touchdowns. They're playing on a whole nother level right now, and that offense is just something.
And guess
else.
who's room? There's still room for Gabe Davis, right?
I know. Who did we not call this though? We said he might not lead the team and like the receiving and everything, but he's going to be close. I feel like in yards at least, just because he's going to have those crazy games where all of a sudden he gets 170 or he gets like 3 for like 74 this week. Yeah. You know, like he's always on that touchdown. That was such a fun touchdown. The little wheel route, that was so much fun.
You called him 100%, and then I think we both were talking about it opening up Diggs back into the equation by having Gabe being a threat too, you know?
Yeah.
And I think both happened completely, so yeah.
I think it's made. I feel like Diggs is like playing best he's ever played right now.
Yeah.
It helps having all these other guys around you, but you know, coming with that, I mean, what a dang throw to Knox. Oh my God.
Dude, and that was in the locker room incredible thing you shared the speech. That was the tear jerker when they gave him the ball too, and they're like, "I know you're going through so much." Yeah, that's good. That was good.
It's so nice. I love to see Knox be successful. It's definitely so much fun to see him do well. I mean, oh my God, that was honestly a great route run to get open in the corner like that. And Josh, it was not open. Josh put that over. It was literally like over. If you see the replay from the back, the guy literally jumped. It goes right over the guy and it sinks right into Knox. I was just like, oh my, that was an insane play.
It was like an up and over. And then Knox having the hands for it. You know, like I think we also said that about Knox. You know, like I think the first year on the team where we were like, oh, he's got
automatic.
He's got some potential, you know, and then I think he's been pretty reliable the last few years. You know, the last couple of years he's been like stepping up. So
yeah, touchdown city too. Yeah. He gets like 6 plus a year, which is great.
Last year he was like the guy at
15,
20 yards.
Like
yeah, like 15, 20 yards out, he was the guy in the end zone.
Right.
So, I think that was good to say about that. And then the other thing, McKenzie, man. Yeah, coming off the concussion. He had a very rough game. So
dude, that was kind of, he was dropping passes like crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know. Sometimes I feel like after you do get hit, especially as hard as he did, that does kind of cause you to be a little hesitant. But like, I don't know. It could also just be, you know, you have bad games too. And he's been known to be a drop passes and stuff. That's why I was kind of surprised that we decided to go along with like him instead of, you know, like keeping maybe Beasley or something this year. Cause like, I was kind of like, McKenzie's good, but like he is known for like dropping passes and stuff like that. But he is kind of your perfect slot receiver, super speedy. You know, he's going to be great in the goal line, stuff like that. Which he has been. It's been all that. So.
He's had some big clutch plays, but like I was kind of surprised how much they consistently went to him yesterday. Even seeing that it just didn't seem like a good day. It
wasn't working.
Yeah, but they just kept. I thought they would kind of just like move him out of the. Yeah, they kept forcing it, and I was surprised.
You could definitely tell he looked hesitant. Yeah. Like he wasn't ready to be out there, something along those.
It could be the big hit. It could be he just doesn't feel 100% after about the bad concussion. You know, yeah, anything. So
yeah, rough game, and that kind of goes into our running back situation again. Obviously, important to talk about. I mean, very like Singletary looked great.
Singletary first half was like, what?
Yeah, I mean, he obviously got shut down in the second half, which kind of happens when you're like trying to waste down clock, stuff like that. Like some wasted carries, but he still finished with like I think it was like what did I say? It was like 15 or 17
for 82 or something.
80 something, 85 something like that.
Yeah, one time in that game he was 12 for 80, which is big for him. Like that's not yards he puts up
that's
regularly.
Great. So, very weird to see it's just been such a weird rotation. Obviously Singletary's been the number one back, but like behind has been so back and forth. And then when I didn't even realize that Moss was a healthy scratch. I was like, that is very interesting to see. I mean, I think his time might be up. I think it's finally.
Do you remember this happened last year though too, and we thought he was done? Like he got scratched 2 games in a row.
Yeah, they start getting playing time again.
Yeah, but I mean, I almost wonder if it's attitude or something. I mean, like something during practices where he's kind of like giving. There's got to be something because the healthy scratch usually means there's more to it than just like because they'd still throw him if you like. I mean, Cook only had 2 carries, right? So I mean, they could have threw Moss 2 carries. It's like
yeah. Cook only had 2 carries. He wasn't really involved at all. Like, I mean, it did feel like it was a kind of a pass-heavy game again. I mean, they did have 328 yards passing, so I think it did kind of feel like that.
I don't want to wish this, but Singletary's either going to have a bad game or like an injury. I think for them to just go on and Cook,
Or Cook's gonna have to have some breakout, like a breakout
big.
couple of games or something.
Yeah.
Where like you can't really sit him anymore.
Which I'm sure it's coming, but with 2 carries a game, it's tough, man. You got 2 times.
Honestly, this might just be that rookie year where you kind of just like get your whereabouts about you, and you're just like are part of the team kind of thing.
It's not a Damian Pierce situation there where like they're like ready to move to the new guy.
They need him now.
Yeah, and they're all pretty. I think that whole coaching staff has been about Singletary a long time. So.
For a while, and honestly, he's not playing like bad enough where like you can be like, okay, he's bad. You gotta sit him. He's playing good enough where like it's like one of those situations where like he plays good enough where you're like you can justify starting him.
Yeah.
But he doesn't play good enough to like want to have him be your starter,
Yeah, or to rely on him 100%.
Right. Right. To rely on him when you need him, when you really need a rush attack, and we just don't have it. Like Josh still going into the bye week, Josh leads the team in rushing by 2 yards.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
It is.
That's it. Ridiculous.
This game is, if that continues, we're moving in the right direction because we had
for sure.
We grinded out the clock a lot more. That helps, so it's not so much just in the air quick scores, because that's another issue we've had in the past too. Is when you go back and forth with someone, we're giving the ball right back to them because we score. We typically score pretty quick, if it's in the air.
Right.
So we're talking like. You have the running back who chew up the clock a little bit, so I think it just works in your favor to slow the game down some. But
right, yeah. But yeah. So that's also I wanted to talk about Josh's hurdle.
Let's talk about 2 fun moments. Do Josh's hurdle first. Yeah,
we'll talk about 2 fun moments. Yeah, you want to talk about Poyer getting run over by Kelsey, but like still making the tackle.
Yeah, I think my point was the commentators are like, "Oh, look, Kelsey absolutely ran him over." But like, if you watch, like Poyer's just locked onto him, dude, like a pit bull, like dragging him down, and he went down. So I'm like, great. That reminds me of when, who last year had to step to Henry at full speed, and they did.
I can't remember who was it.
I don't know if it was Hyde. It was someone who just stepped. Someone in the secondary.
Oh, I think I do remember. Who was it? I think it was Hyde or somebody.
And they kind of tripped him up, but it's like the same thing. You're going to get crushed. So
I mean, you're going to get hit as long as you make the play.
Yeah. So
if they stay up, then you failed, but not if they fall down.
Poyer fan, man. I wish we could keep him long term. I don't think we'll be able to afford him. But
Did you see what he had to do too?
What's that?
He had to travel by.
Oh, they said that.
van.
Yeah.
Because he has a collapsed lung, but he was like could play the game.
So he drove
because from the broken ribs, I think it was.
Yeah.
So he hired like a service to take him all the way 15 hours.
Yeah, that's wild.
To play. Isn't that wild? That's so funny. So funny. So that's wild. But yeah, I want to talk about the Josh hurdle. And it was in such a crucial time again, dude.
Yeah.
That man constantly finds ways to make extremely big plays in extremely big moments.
Yeah.
It's like it's so much fun to have the face of the NFL on your team.
His success to choke rate is so so wide. Like he does these crazy plays, and like you've seen it where someone tries to hurdle someone and they get destroyed, and you're like, like
right.
He'll spin off, he'll run. He when he does these big crazy moves, they almost always end in his favor.
That was the jump over, still stay up, and able to get out about. It was crazy.
And Sneed, which just sweetens it even more. Right?
Yeah. Yep. It was great.
He's been kind of cocky in the past. So, yeah.
What a little bitch. But that was great. What a season so far. Leading us into the bye week.
I feel like I need a break.
I know. Fuck. So much domination.
Yeah.
No. 6-1. What a season so far. Honestly, like pretty much exactly how we expected. Like we knew that we were probably going to lose one, maybe two.
Didn't think it'd be Miami, but.
Didn't think it would be Miami. I will say 100% I did not think it would be Miami, but I thought it would be like KC maybe, or like some or like
Green Bay. We thought
like maybe
Rams
or Rams. We play Green Bay next, so that we'll see. That's a big Sunday night game. Green Bay 8:20.
Seemed like they've had struggles, so I don't know that it's going to be an easy game for them against us for sure with the way we've been playing. So other than you could come off a bye on fire, you can come off a bye kind of lazy, so we'll see.
I'm hoping. I think this is the kind of team, or we're 5-1. That's not 6-1, 5-1.
Yeah.
But I think we're the type of team though that we're so like disciplined that we're the type of team that are probably going to come out of the bye still like feeling it and be ready to go. And what's nice is we don't have to play till 8:20.
Yeah.
Sunday, October 30th. At home against slumping Green Bay, who just lost to the Jets.
Struggling.
I honestly feel like we might dominate them.
Yeah, I think so.
Like, absolutely. And it's going to be prime time. Like, Josh, I feel like it's going to be 4 or 5 touchdowns. Like,
they've had problems with drop balls. They're having trouble with Rodgers finding his new number one guy.
Dominant.
Yeah.
Dude, that could be honestly an embarrassing Sunday night game. Like
they've got young receivers. They're gonna get eaten alive.
Yeah,
I think Cobb was out. I don't know if he's still gonna be, but
they might actually get eaten alive.
Yeah.
Rodgers, he might actually not show up for the game.
Also,
I wouldn't blame it.
Trey might be back that game. I think they're estimating either that or the next one after that. So.
Yeah, that's so nice. He's back at practice.
Yeah.
That was fun to see because, God, his presence too. Jeez.
Yeah, he's going to be wild.
Just adds to our depth. We're going to have four cornerbacks back.
Just imagine, we've done this well without him.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
And he was our number one. Yeah.
To me, he's our best player. I mean, people we can say Von now, but he was our best player the last couple of years. He's absolutely dominant.
Well, and Vaughn and him are different. They're still going to complement each other, different purpose, So
superstars. It's great to have multiple superstars on your team. We have Diggs and Josh on the offense. Have Vaughn and Trey. They're different positions. It's great. D-line and the back. And then
how about Milano too? Some big plays again too.
Glad Milano he came back. So fucking good. I'm so happy that we found a way to sign him back because that's one of those guys that they either sign back to the team they're with and they end up playing really well, or they end up just going to some other random team that does, or just for the money kind of thing. Yeah, and you don't really hear about him anymore again. But I'm just so happy that we got him back because he was a big part he has been a big part to our defense, and he's very, very good.
He's there.
He's just rush on he's great at just attacking the hole.
He's there just and Edmonds, actually both of them. I'm big on Edmonds too, man. Edmonds is fun to watch. So I think having Milano be as significant in the past few games. And like you said, he could have went for money, or he could have stayed here and re-signed. And some people get pouty, they stay and they're not really happy. They wish they took the money and then they don't play hard, or
goes to show that how our team is, though. The environment on our team. It's very, very good, and I feel like it's positive, and that's why our team is playing so well too, because they all support each other too at the same time. So.
Yep.
I definitely think this. I wanted to ask, what do you rate this season out of a 1 to 10? Honest rating.
I mean, 9.
Yeah.
I'm not disappointed about anything other than injuries.
Only blemish Miami. That's the only reason it's not a perfect 10.
Yeah.
Because we lost to Miami.
Yeah. And that was there's kind of reason to it. I don't want to make excuses, but both sides had injuries, but
fresh off injuries,
a lot of injuries.
It was away. They were hot as hell.
Yeah. It was just everything going against you. A lot of a lot of significant injuries.
Honestly, it was almost that loss we needed kind of thing.
Yeah, to get you going, fired up.
Yeah.
As I say, what do you? So I'll return a question to you. Like, what was your feelings overall with the KC game? Like, I just felt weird afterwards. Like, I felt like going up to that, I wanted them to win so bad, and then they did win, and like I was happy, but it just felt. I don't know. It felt almost like
I want the same thing in playoff time.
Yeah, yeah.
It's so nice beating them in the regular season, of course, but all this regular season bullshit is just to say like, oh, we're the best, we're the best. Look at like the MLB where the Dodgers, just the best team by far, just got eliminated in essentially the first round of the playoffs.
Yeah.
And it's just crazy.
And that's even more important with football because you get one game.
Right. Yeah. Right. So it's just, all I'm saying is it's nice winning now, but it's nice to see all of this. I just want consistency throughout the rest of the season. But I have to say, I was super happy. I was very excited about this game too, going into it. And I do feel like I did come out of it pretty excited just because I just love having Josh beat Mahomes.
Oh, yeah,
it's always that talk of who's better. And I just feel like Josh 100% outplayed him this game, for sure.
I think I was just like, I want them to beat him. And then at the end, they beat him, and I was like, cool, they beat him. You know what I mean? Like,
but that was easier than I thought.
But it was almost like a gauge for me, because that's someone like you. It's good that we had him at week 6, right? So that we could actually be like,
later in the season might have been different.
Yeah, and it's like we've going confident, like we know we can beat the Chiefs. You know, I mean, we did last year too, and it's just like, playoff time it'll be. So
yeah. I definitely think we're a better team than them this year, though. I think they're a great team, but I just feel like we're a better team than them, like just on all levels of the ball.
I said that before. I think we made more drastic improvements than they did. Like, I think that
to better ourselves.
Yeah, to better ourselves. Yeah. We picked up like Von Miller. We did things, and I think they kind of did, but they kind of plug holes, like Tyreek Hill going and putting.
They did it through the draft more than adding like a big guy, and then if anything, they kind of decreased with losing Hill. I mean, that kind of hurt them.
The draft might future-proof them, but maybe. But like right now, they're gonna
corners and stuff they drafted, but
growing pains, So we'll see.
Yeah, but overall, I definitely think the season is off to a great start. I definitely feel like we might only lose like literally 3 games this year, like 2-3 games,
maybe even 2.
That's what I'm saying. Like there might honestly, like, if I don't even think we're gonna like slip up against the Jets.
Let's pull that up. We gotta play the Patriots twice still. Yeah, that's always
honestly.
Something.
Let's do a quick schedule review now that we're going into the bye week.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull this up again.
So week 8 coming out of the bye week at home. Sunday night against Green Bay. That's a win.
I say it's a win.
Win. Next week it's 1 p.m. Sunday at New York Jets. That's a win to me. Honestly, I know they beat Green Bay, but Green Bay is, to me, they're shit this year. So
the teams
I don't take New York serious.
And the teams that they've been beating for the most part are problematic teams. They weren't teams that were dominant.
Right, like they beat Cleveland. Like the Cleveland doesn't have their quarterback, stuff like that. Like,
or the Steelers, right?
Like Steelers, and they beat Dolphins when Dolphins didn't have Teddy. Didn't have Tua. So obviously everybody knows like Dolphins without Tua is a completely different team.
So they got dominated by the Ravens.
Right,
24-9.
They got beat up by the Ravens, beat up by the Bengals. So those are 2 legit teams.
Yeah.
So like
they barely beat the Browns.
Here.
Barely.
Let's be honest here. So I think that's another win. So that's 2 more wins. And then hard game, I think will be, but it's home. Home against Minnesota, week 10.
Minnesota's on a roll, so I think it's gonna be a tough game.
But I think it's home, so I think that's a win.
Yeah, but it's also someone we don't ever play, so that's one of them. I think in the beginning I predicted it could be trouble, but it's still gonna be
interesting.
I'm gonna say
I feel like
that'll
be like this type of game, like maybe a 27-24 win, like kind of thing.
I also think they're more inconsistent than we are, so I think like we're gonna pull it off. I think also too. Yeah.
Then Sunday, November 20th, week 11 versus Cleveland.
Win.
That's a 1 p.m. win. Thursday, Thanksgiving Day at Detroit, 12:30. Detroit sucks.
That better be a win.
Defense. We're the best offense. That's a win.
Yeah.
Let's see. That's next. Then another Thursday night game. That was a Thursday night game. Great. Only on Prime. Yay.
Hey, the first good Prime game this year.
Yeah, might be the first good Prime game all year. At New England. That's going to be a hard game just as at New England. No matter who the quarterback is, I'm sure that will be a hard game, competitive, but I just don't. I feel we come out of that.
What date was that?
That's a December 1st game.
See, that could be a snow game too, so
that could be a weird game. Yeah. So I'm gonna say a win, but that one might be one like that could change depending on weather and all that kind of stuff.
That could be one of the dicey ones, we'll say.
Then first New York 1 p.m. game, another win.
Yeah.
Then Sunday, December 18th versus Miami, another win.
We're gonna get them this time bad.
Yeah. Then Saturday. Oh, Christmas Eve.
The Bears.
The
Bears.
The Bears.
In Chicago.
1 p.m. That's an easy win. The Bears suck.
The only
I don't even care if that's a snow game.
The only thing I'm gonna feel bad about during that game is that I hope the Bills can make it back home for Christmas. You know, that's all.
Yeah, really. I just hope they have a really good Christmas after they dominate Chicago. Chicago.
Justin Fields.
Then we come to our actually probably like the first hard game after that really all season at Cincinnati Monday night game.
Yeah.
Honestly, that might be our next loss because we might even be sitting Josh by then.
If we're sitting Josh, that might be a loss then. But if not, I still think we got Cincinnati. Cincinnati's been way too spotty this year.
No, I think they're great, but like it's a Monday night game. It's at Cincinnati, you know, like it's late in the season. Who knows? We'll see. I'm saying if anything, that could be our second loss.
Let's just quickly revisit the Bengals season, right?
Yeah.
So they lost to the Steelers.
Which is bad.
They lost to the Cowboys.
Which Cowboys they're okay.
They beat the Jets. They beat the Dolphins pretty good.
With Tua too, or they took out Tua.
Yeah, they took out Tua after he wasn't playing that great because that's after the game with us. So, the Ravens beat them 19-17 close game, and
beat the Saints.
Yeah. And then they beat the Saints, yeah. So by a little bit. All their games were close. All their games were very close in those two, other than a couple of blowouts. So, yeah.
And they have a hard schedule leading up to us. Buccaneers, Patriots, then us.
Yeah.
They play Titans, Chiefs, Browns, Bucks, and that's Browns with Deshaun back. So that's Titans, Chiefs, Browns, Bucks, Patriots, Bills. So that's got a hard schedule leading up to us too. So
yeah.
We'll see. And then we finished out the season at home against New England. Honestly, that might just be a loss because we're probably going to be sitting everybody by then, honestly, with all the wins. And even if sometimes we let them play first half and we get up by a lot and then we sit them, but who knows? Honestly, if injuries prevail and everything, there's no reason why we might not lose another game.
That's an
honest prediction.
You made a good point, though. I think we get one natural loss, and I kind of forgot about that. If we have such a good record at the end of the season, they're going to bench. And we're going to take another loss.
So that will be number 2, if anything. But honestly, and if we happen to lose a game along the way, that's where we might end up getting that 3 losses, kind of thing. Yeah. So we'll see. But awesome season so far. I just want to close up by saying once again, thank you to everybody. Appreciate you all for watching. Please subscribe. Keep following us. I think we'll probably take a bye week as well next week. That's unless there's any big Buffalo news, we might just take a bye week as well, or maybe I don't know. We might do something. We'll see.
I think probably the bye week because we kind of discussed the Green Bay game already. Like you said, unless some big news comes up, but yeah.
And I'll be at home hunting and stuff too. So we'll probably take a bye week next week. I'm gonna go shoot myself a big meat buck. Thank you, everyone. Subscribe to our YouTube. Follow us on Instagram, Red, White, and Buffalo. Let's go,
Buffalo! See you next time.
Stays ya.